You don't say to mama, you don't read. Says the tracking angel. You don't boast to mama, you don't cut. Now chain you the cut. Okay, now make I use my microscope, scan a reality scan, nigga area biafra phobia mentality. See, set my I'm the kind of free. One word. They don't want to hear the name of Biafra. For them is a scary name of Biafra. I love this very name of Biafra. Biafra, most I Jaja bless Biafra, Chuko Kika Biafra bless Biafra, conscientiousness bless Biafra, Biafra. Started in 1804 by Utman down Fodio, Rinom go be to Sokoto, Boo, Sa'amadu, they massacred the house, Mari and Pura, Gatabari Shua, Zamfara Refuting is the voice of everyone. Freedom, Yahweh must be done on the land. Simon, they don't want to hear the name of Biafra. For them is a scary name of Biafra. I love this very name of Biafra. Biafra. Most I judge bless Biafra. Chukwu Kika Biafra bless. Conscientiousness bless Biafra. They tried by the canories, this reckless fool and they conquered the fooling. They killing him every day. Not just plastic, people love me best every day. Our say we move, but now we move. They don't want to hear the name of Biafra. For them is a scary name of Biafra. I love this very name of Biafra. Most I Jaja bless Biafra. Chukwu Kika Biafra bless Biafra. Conscientiousness bless Biafra. We know that they are the terror, like the man called Sheikh Gumi. Terror, Sheva, this is not me. Terror, Isa Ali, Rahimatani. Terrorist, Boko Haram, the army. Terrorist, they stop the people from fighting. Terrorist, Abu Bakar Malami. Terrorist, mainstream media swami. Now we have more than fire. Information minister, Mr. like Mohammed and liar. The truth is Biafra and fire. They don't want to hear the name of Biafra. For them is a scary name of Biafra. I love this very name of Biafra. Most I Jaja bless.
Everywhere is boiling.
Conscientiousness bless Biafra.
Hey.
They can come into the run them out of do the one and one them run them out now. Run them out now. Yo, divide the nations, disobeying their bloody games against Biafra with the AU all the same. What a shame, such a pain. Namdi can say Biafra, he couldn't say Biafra. Black people worldwide say Biafra, Marcus gave away Biafra.
Hey, wait. Now, hold on 1 minute. Let me bring the video we are going to use. Hold on, sir. Hold on. Where's the Apoki? Hold on. Apoki have become my pastor recently, but Apoki offended me today. Yes, Charles Apoki offended me, but I will not be angry with him because he's a good man. Charles Apoki is a good man, but they are yet to understand. Some of them, they love Mazin Namdekanu, they love the way. But what brings you to the way? You know, they are yet to stand barefooted in the burning bush. Some of us have stood barefooted before the burning bush. Some of us sat down on Radio Biafra. We listened to Mazin Namdekanu, we understood. It is not today that we switched off Nigeria in our subconscious. Now, what we are now doing is, because we know that we have switched off Nigeria from our subconscious, Fulani have a work they are doing, a work plan. What is their plan? Fulani also wants to switch off Nigeria.
Because Fulani does not like Nigeria the way it is. No, they need to switch it off and start up a Fulani caliphate. I don't know if Dr. Charles Apoki understands. You know, some of these people, because of their love for Nigeria, the big Nigeria, the giant of Africa, they still find it difficult to understand that, look, you cannot eat your cake and have it. Nigeria is gone. Forget about it. Why are you crying over spilled milk? Nigeria is worse than a spilled milk. Why did I forget to introduce myself? You already know me, but I have to do this as a routine. My name is Rafael Chamaka Jere, aka Pastor Vam Vam Vam. By the grace of Chukwu Kabiama Primi Heni Lady, all powerful Okike himself. I am Deputy Minister of Communications, Media, and the Information, Biafra Republic Government in Exile. And I am also the armor bearer of my Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa. I am proudly so. Now, I am going to bring you, please stand with me to introduce every one of you. I can see very powerful people in the house today. Yes, Eunice has spared her time to start watching. Mbatuegu is watching. Emmanuel Chibike is watching. I saw December, Eruomulo. You are watching, and I don't know where you have been all this while, but all the same, we welcome you. We see my own beloved brother, my captain in this house. Taproot himself is watching. But please, pay attention. I am going to touch something, and I believe you will go home with something very important and very interesting this afternoon. We will listen to our brother, Dr. Charles Apoki, and then I will lay a little bit of emphasis, and then we'll leave it there because we have only 20 minutes. Let's go and get Professor or Dr. Charles Apoki. I am telling you, while I was listening to this message, I started laughing because the title itself was making me laugh. The title, I'm telling you, look at the title. Can you see the title there? Let me broaden it so that you will see. I don't know whether, look at, no, will you, okay. No, it won't. You will see the title. He titled this program by the time I probably, by the time I probably get it on, you see it on which part of the screen is it? Okay, it's a big one, nice one. Charles Apoki titled this one today, just a few hours ago. He said, we need to restart this country. There's a total state capture. We need to what? Restart this country. There's a total state capture. When he was talking about it, it's about 5 minutes or less than 6 minutes message. I was laughing myself to stupor. You know, some of these people, some of them have a good heart, but they don't understand what is happening in Nigeria. I first of all listened to one of his messages earlier where he was, appreciating Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and he said he differs with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. And when you say you differ with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, can you begin to imagine how will you differ with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu when you are appreciating him and saying that he is a prophet and his prophecies are coming to pass, and yet you differ? I will go to that one, but maybe not on this section. But let us deal with this one where he said we need to restart this country. Let's go.
Your friend, Dr. Charles Apoki. Two disturbing incidences in this, or is it incidents? I don't know now. In this country. Number one is the Supreme Court judgment over concerning the Labour Party and Julius Abure. There is a voice message that is in circulation, and that clearly states that Abure's tenure or name according to the INEC affirmation was based on a court judgment. And if that court judgment has been vacated, removed, that means his tenure has expired. Simple and plain. Number two, the other thing that is bothering me is INEC wrote concerning the recall process of Senator Natasha Akpoti Uduaghan of Kogi Central. And INEC said that the requirements were not met and that they discontinued the action and that no further action, capital letters. It seems as if, number one, the Abure faction want to reconfigure the judgment of the Supreme Court. And there are rumors that there's pressure on some people to falsify or amend the certified true copy of the judgment. It is alleged. That is criminal. That is evil. That shows that some people feel entitled and they have seen that they can capture all the state institutions like the judiciary up to the Supreme Court, and then even INEC that has said no further action. What is the meaning of no further action? They want to restart the process of gathering signatures. We need to reconfigure this country.
INEC passed a judgment, and INEC said no further action should be taken in the issue of Natasha, isn't it? Now, he said, what is the meaning of no further action? It means that everything should cease. Natasha is good. Natasha should return to the house. But somebody is gathering new signatures to restore or to recall Natasha. What they did that was fraudulent, criminal, they want to repeat it again. And this time, because they have entered into INEC, that particular person that objected to their 419, they have removed the person, but they want to now do the mago that they did, and make sure it stands, because it's supposed to stand. After all, number 4 in Imo State became governor, and he became governor again. So while Apoki said that, he now said we need to reconfigure. We need to reconfigure this country. I started laughing. Let us allow him to talk, please.
Configure this country. We need to redefine some things. Who owns this country? Who runs this country? Where are we heading to? What institutions, what roles are institutions supposed to play? We need to reconfigure even our belief system in Islam and in the church. We need to even in our traditional religious system, where you think that you can produce money for people by rituals. We need to reconfigure everything in this country. This country needs to reboot. needs to reboot. Tragically, these people that are running around do not seem, from all sectors of this country, from the universities, the police, the army, the air force, because if you can go and invade a private office, company office, the army can go and invade an office, oh God, we need to reconfigure this country. We need to reboot it, restart it. Let's switch it off and restart it.
He said, let us switch it off and restart it. Apoki, you are my elder and I appreciate you anyway. But I want you to know, is there anything like Nigeria? Is there a country? You know, when you say you want to reconfigure, reboot, and restart, the first question you ask yourself is, where is the country? Is there a country? Was there a country? You are a mistake. So what do you want to switch off? Something that is not there. Everything about you was a nightmare. Everything about Nigeria, you can call it bad dream, you can call it a bad omen, you can call it a mistake, whichever word you can use, but it is not something you can switch off and switch on because it was not there.
Have you people seen what they call a mirage? Nigeria is a typical example of mirage. Those days when we used to travel, maybe in the back of a pickup, or maybe you are in a vehicle going, and you are looking afar off in the heat of the sun on a highway. If you look front, it will look as if there is a river. And you are going, you are saying, there is a river in the front because the sun is too hot and the smoke of that heat is on the highway and it makes it look like there is a river. And you are approaching that river. You will never get to that river because there was never a river. It is called a mirage. There was no Nigeria. There is no Nigeria. And there can never be a Nigeria. Get it into your skull. All this switch off, switch start, reboot, format, you are just speaking grammar. Grammar. Now, your esophagus, or what do they call it? That our parents, those they used to, something. Is it your esophagus or something, a part of your body? They use it to plant something, and they say that tree belongs to you. There is nothing of you that is attached to Nigeria. Your esophagus or whatever, plant here Nigeria. You don't belong to Nigeria, doesn't exist. So, when you are saying switch off and reboot, your love for Nigeria, your desire for Nigeria, your imagination for Nigeria, it makes me wonder. Now, you want to switch off a Nigeria where you have bandit, Fulani, herdsmen, terrorists, bandit, where you have a Tinubu, you have Tinubu's son, you have Akpabio, you have Dino Melai, you have all these criminal tendencies, all this brutality. Hey, Chineke, how can I explain? You switch it off and you switch it on again and you start another country with the same people. How? No, tell me how. Oga, forget it. That is why when I heard you today, you say you differ with Mazin Nnamdi Kanu, even though you have seen that his prophecies are coming to pass, yet you differ. Let me bring that message where he said he differ. I don't know. This one I have not finished. I just wish I can use one stone to kill two birds. Let's finish this one first.
There are countries where they call snap elections. They call snap elections, and they rejig the country by electing new people. It will be insanity on your path to collect money and vote these same people in again in all the parties. I mean all the parties. I'm not talking of APC alone. PDP, APC, Labour Party. Those people we voted in Labour Party, many of them have decamped, shut up their mouths. We need to reconfigure this country, restart this country. Anyhow we will do it. Let's do it. Because we can't continue like this. If not, in the next 5 years,
Correct.
Based on the American prediction, we will not have a country again. It's a serious.
Based on the American prediction, America, they know. They have already said it. It's not based on prediction. It's based on what they have seen. What America gave you was statistics on what they have seen. And now let me shock you. Most of the things that Mazin Nnamdi Kanu have said, they were not as a prophet. They were based on what he has seen. It is whether you can look beyond and see. Intelligent people, they don't need to see prophecy. They look and they see. When you give birth to a child and you see the way the child is behaving, you can project into the future of that child and know that if some things are not handled properly by this time, this is where this child will end up in the future. And if you don't handle those things correctly and you allow the child to go on the same way that child is, that child will end up that way. It is not prophecy. It is what you see. So America, they saw it. That in the next 5 years, there will not be any Nigeria. Because they know that there is ISWAP, there is Boko Haram, there is Fulani herdsmen, there is everybody. And there are criminal politicians. That even some of them are sponsoring. Some of the Western countries are sponsoring. And they know that these people are very active. If they tell you in your widest imagination that Tinubu will be president of Nigeria with all the 200 million people suffering in Nigeria, after Tinubu said he will continue from where Buhari stopped, and yet Tinubu is president today. Nnamdi Kanu said it. Was he prophesying? It wasn't necessarily prophecy. He saw it. He saw it. When our Prime Minister Simon Ekpa told you about Biafra, and I love the pattern of our Simon Ekpa's declarations. Simon Ekpa will tell you it is not prophecy, it is plan. Biafra will come so and so year, so and so time. It is by 5 years, and it is plan. It's not prophecy. Everything is not prophecy. You people have made prophecy look like everything is prophecy. Now, today, Adeboye said he will go and hold meeting in the moon. There's a program he made and he was laughing about Adeboye and trying to make a mockery or whatever. Not really mockery that he was making, because he is also, I think he's a pastor in one of the Redeem or whatever, and all those things. You know, and when he's saying that we need to reboot, restart church or Islam, look, let me tell you, you cannot be together, Christianity and Islam. We can't walk. And now you want to reconfigure this country and start it up again with a cabinet or whatever, a House of Rep or House of Senate that is full of a bunch of hardline Islamists, hardliners, people that want to make sure that Islamic law is practiced in the country. Seculars, are you going to convince a hardline Islamist to operate a secular state system? Are you going to be in the same state, a country, whereby if I travel to another end of the country and I do something, they will cut off my limbs and my hands? People in Kano, there are some people that lose their limbs because they stole a bottle of water. They lose their limbs. And the people governing that place, governors, are stealing billions. And their children are abroad and enjoying. But poor people, because of Islamic law, they lose their limbs and they lose their legs. Are you going to be in the same country where in some parts of Nigeria, there is a Talibanic style of leadership? Talibanic. If you go to places like Katsina, Zamfara, it is like Talibanic kind of leadership. Taliban, whereby if you are walking the street as a lady without your regalia, they can lynch you in Zamfara. And it is called Nigeria also. So how can you? No, tell me how. It's not possible. So please, Mazi Charles Apoki, don't ever in your life again, with due respect, say that you differ with Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. I still have about 7 minutes. Let me get that message where he actually said something about Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and he said he differ. I don't know why you would differ. You can't differ with Onyendu if you are a truth lover. It's not possible. The message is long. I don't know if I can play it. It's about 13 minutes. It's long. But let me play it. Let me bring it.
Ma tu come fai a vedere la partita se hanno staccato internet?
Ho Vodafone sempre connessi.
Attiva la rete fissa a €23,95 al mese. Vodafone sempre connessi è incluso e la connessione c'è sempre.
Advert. Another advert will come up. Monetize channels, so please bear with me. Yes, I know. That's how we need to make some money also. Another advert again.
I am your friend.
Okay. Now, this is that message. In this message, he said something about Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and he differed also. It's about 30 minutes. If I don't get to that point, I will play it again in my next program.
I am your friend, Dr. Charles Apoki. I want to talk about the killings in Plateau State and Benue State and the hypocrisy of Northern Christian leadership. I was watching the interviews granted by 2 people from Plateau State over the killings in Boko's local government area and several other areas in the Middle Belt. And one of the young men that spoke with Frank Tietie, I can't remember his name. He was very, very livid, very, very angry. And he said that there is an attempted or an ongoing genocide and ethnic cleansing and land grabbing by the Fulanis in the Middle Belt, particularly Benue State and Plateau State. He even said that the elimination of predominantly Middle Belt officers in one kind of alleged coup in Nigeria was a deliberate attempt to wipe out a group of military personnel from the Middle Belt, if I heard him correctly. And he talked about land grabbing, cleansing the indigenous people, and then replacing them with Fulanis. It's very sickening, very sad that people like Yakubu Gowon, David Mack, Jeremiah Oseni before he went into the great beyond, and several others, people like Jerry Garner, they have not addressed the issues of Northern Christians and the oppressions and genocidal acts that are taking place in their areas. There was another man from the Middle Belt that wore red cap and wore Arafat kind of head tie with Najatu Mohammed talking over the Uromi killings, brutal, heinous, condemnable killings of hunters, in quotes, who were found with ammunition and large sums of money. I was looking at that man with red cap, talking as if he was more northern than every other person, including that Najatu Mohammed. The way they were talking, they must be brought to book. It's not acceptable. We are restraining our youth. Hey? A few days later, Boko's local government area, Agatu, and several parts of Plateau State were overrun by bandits, and a large crowd of helpless people, predominantly Christians, were gathered somewhere, and they were also burying their people. I think the death toll has reached more than 100 people.
Need to run Windows on your Mac? Parallels Desktop makes
Najatu Mohammed has not made any statement concerning this more than 100 people that were killed, houses burnt, churches burnt, who are now IDPs in their own homeland. I saw the man with red cap on Arise TV. He was talking. These people are not headers. They are terrorists. They are terrorists. They have displaced people. Now they've not been dealt with. When they arrest them, they said, Mr. Redcap, you have changed. Do you have a snake tongue? One, to sense, the snake uses each tongue to sense and to smell for prey and for opportunities. Then the thing transmits to a sensory organ.
Anyway, this is a video I will continue with in the evening, this particular one, so that I will address a very important thing he said in this video. He said something
that didn't go down well with me. After saying all these things, he said good things about Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and he said he doesn't agree, or that's the word he used. We will address it in the evening. Please share this video and let it go viral. I'll see you later in the evening. Airborne. We'll continue from here. Thank you very much, everyone.